Hey everybody, I'm Mike and thanks for checking out the channel. Today I want to take on a different subject on my channel. It's still going to be music involved, and it's one of my favorite bands out there that I just got to see live and just kind of wanted to talk about and give you my opinion of what people are saying about them and why I think some of them are right and wrong at the same time. So the band we are going to be talking about today is this band right here, Babymetal. They've really taken the time and put the work in to get themselves over in the metal community, and metal fans really have gravitated to them. But there is a whole group of people that still believe that Babymetal, the way they say it, is a manufactured band. So we're going to check out my intro here, and when we come back, we are going to take a look and just talk about this band. And I'm going to give my opinion on what I think of that situation. So let's check out the intro, and we'll be right back.
Jesus Christ. That's Mike's musical rehab.
All right, so got Babymetal up on the screen. We are going to talk about this one here, and let's take the image down because we don't always need the image up. All right, so here's my opinion on this. You know, what I know about Babymetal, and I know not a ton. You know, there's people out there that are experts. I know they were formed in 2010, and the original members, I believe you could throw out there and tell me if I'm wrong, was Su Metal, Moa Metal, and U Metal. I believe that was the original three. If I'm wrong about that, you could tell me in the comments below. But I know now it is Su Metal, Moa Metal, and Momo Metal. And we'll go from the point that, from what I've learned, they were formed in 2010. You know, it was kind of a producer that had come up with an idea that he wanted to mix the genre of the Japan idols with metal. So he kind of created this group and put three of these girls together, these idol girls, and created this band. But that makes the point where people say, is it a manufactured band? And I'm going to answer this question right off the bat very quickly. Yes, originally this band is a manufactured band. But what I am going to say to that point is, do I care? No, because they are talented and they are good and their music's great and I love listening to them. So that does not matter to me. You know, they talk about, like, they have a band, a backing band that got formed behind them, which I believe is the Kami band. And they are absolutely amazing musicians. And they do killer songs, do killer harmonies. The band's vocals are spot on. They put on a fun show. And I know there comes this conversation. People are like, well, that's not real metal. You're not putting a couple people in a garage sitting there working out songs and doing stuff like that. But to be honest with you, that doesn't happen a lot anymore. It does happen, I will say, in metal. You know, bands like Lorna Shore, all of them are like bands that formed as friends and did stuff and did things and wrote music in the garage and came out. But there's also other genres of music that are created more in a studio and done. And to me, if it's all done by people, it doesn't matter how they were formed together. If it's good, it's good. And Babymetal is just a good, fun band. I love their collaborations. Their newest album, I believe it's the fourth album, it has so many great collaborations on there with Bloodywood, Electric Callboy, Spirit Box, Slaughter to Prevail. I mean, so that builds that whole genre that they're always collaborating with people that you hear people go, oh, well, they're a manufactured band. And I heard one of my favorite YouTube people on here, Tank the Tech, kind of thought that too, was like, Babymetal's a studio-made band. And while that's true, I have to say they are. As I pointed out, the music's great. And that is the end result that is important. I was just talking to a friend about this, and we were having this conversation. And he's a big, like, country music fan. Loves, like, Morgan Wallen, Blake Shelton, and people like that. And he's into metal, too. And he was just kind of like, it doesn't feel natural to me. It doesn't feel natural to me. But then I had to point out to him the hypocrisy of what he's saying, especially in country music. When you look at someone like, take a Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton, from what I know, isn't writing his songs. Blake Shelton, there's a team of people. If you ever go to Nashville in the United States here, there are like whole get-together sessions where they get all these writers in a room. People sit down, write songs together. Those go to the record labels, and record labels pick out songs that they think would be perfect for that artist. And that, to me, would then also be, is it not a manufactured band? Because I could tell you, Blake Shelton's band is probably formed together, just as Morgan Wallen's, by studio musicians in that area, like piecing together a band. I don't think they were a band sitting in a garage coming together. I think they found Morgan Wallen, who's a talented singer, or Blake Shelton, a talented singer. I thought they said, hey, we could work with this guy. Got songs to record in the studio, got studio musicians who then became the band that went on the road with them. So to me, that is the exact same thing. I mean, they're using other people's songs, musicians that they didn't grow up with and end up forming a band with together. It's just the way it is. I mean, there's a reason why those bands' names are Blake Shelton and Morgan Wallen. It's not because they were a formed band together with a bunch of friends. Otherwise, Blake Shelton would have been like The Line or something like that, some kind of band name like that. You get a band like Florida Georgia Line, that's a perfect thing. They are musicians that grew up together. That's why they have that band name. That's why they're all a part of that band. And it just fits, you know. But there's a lot of people who use studio musicians, and it's just kind of the way of some music is done. And, I mean, some music's done in a garage, some music's done in a studio. To me, I don't care where it's made as long as it's good. And to me, as I said, Babymetal's out there rocking it. I have a good time when I listen to this band. Absolutely fantastic. Just insanely talented. And there's enough room for everybody. You know, my favorite band in the world is Love Bites. And Love Bites is more of a homegrown kind of band. They're the kind of band that would be in a studio space or a rehearsal space just practicing. They're all musicians. They all play. They form together as a band. They're one cohesive unit, and that's how they do it. But that doesn't mean because the other way that it's done with people recording in the studio, just being a studio kind of band, doesn't make that bad. That's still good if it makes good music. And I just wanted to get on here because when I do a lot of like Babymetal videos and stuff like that, I will see comments from people, and people I respect in their opinion just are like, it's a manufactured band to me. And I can understand their point, but I don't get it as long as the music's good. And I think the music is great. So for me, Babymetal, you're crushing it. I love all the stuff they're putting out there. It's so much fun. That commie band that they have is, oh my God, are they so good. When you listen to the live performances, when they do some of the intros to the songs, they are just absolutely rocking out. And when I heard them do a cover of Painkiller with Rob Halford, or as Babymetal called him, Lob, but they were fantastic. That band is just some utterly talented musicians, and when people would say, oh, they put the band behind them, it's not a homegrown band, that's the way the country music scene is in there with a lot of these musicians. They find the most talented musicians in Nashville or wherever, and they become the players for the band. So I don't know. I just wanted to give my opinion on it, of what I thought of Babymetal and their music, and how I just love it, and it doesn't matter to me that it was created as, like, you know, like one of the boy bands you get out there. You get some of the K-pop bands kind of pieced together from, like, a bunch of different musical artists, but if they make good music, they make good music, and Babymetal makes great music, and their live shows are absolutely incredible. So Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. I just jumbled all over my words there. As I always say, if you're climbing up, reach down, pull somebody up with you, because we need more people being lifted up and not torn down. And as always, man, music makes life better. Thanks for checking out the channel. You have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. Bye.